I believe there's growing support across Parliament for the compelling case there is to answer the call from our allies to act against ISIL in Syria and in Iraq. The headquarters, many ways, of the terrorists actually is in Syria, and it makes no sense to recognise this border in the action we take when ISIL themselves don't recognise this border. So it's in the national interest, it's the right thing to do. We'll be acting with our allies. We will be careful and responsible as we do so, but in my view it's right to do this to help to keep our country safe.
Jeremy Corbyn said he wanted a two-day debate. You're not going to do that?
Well, we'll make sure that we have a very long and full debate on Wednesday, and we'll take the action necessary to make sure that we have, in many ways, the equivalent number of hours that you'd often have across a two-day debate in one day. I want MPs to be able to have full consideration, to make speeches, to make points, to ask me questions, to examine the government's case, as we did for 2.5 hours in the House of Commons last week.
Finally, one of the big uncertainties is about the 70,000 troops that you say are moderates on the ground. Who are they, where are they, and are we sure that they're the people we want controlling Raqqa?
Well, the 70,000 figure was provided to me by my experts, and that's why I made that point in the House of Commons. Obviously, in Iraq, we have ground troops there in terms of the Iraqi army and the Kurdish Peshmerga forces. As I said last week, the Syrian situation is more complicated, but there are some ground troops in terms of Free Syrian Army and other troops that are able to take action against ISIL. But in any event, it is right for us, when the action we've taken has been successful in Iraq. It's shrunk ISIL territory by 30%, it's damaged their infrastructure, it's set them back. It's right to extend that action to Syria. But let's be clear, there is no military solution to this issue. The action we are taking is part of a broader strategy, a political strategy, a diplomatic strategy, a humanitarian strategy. And in the end, the answer to what is happening in Iraq and in Syria is the same. We need good, strong governments that represent all of their people, Sunni, Shia, Kurd, Christian and Druze. That is right for Iraq, it's right for Syria. It will take time. This whole strategy will take time, but it's the right thing to do to make sure we go after the terrorists who threaten people in our country, just as they attacked and killed those people on the streets of Paris, on the streets of Ankara, on the streets of Beirut, and indeed British people on the beaches of Tunisia.
Thank you very much.